So Lovehoney is a sexual wellness company. To get us started, could you provide a bit more of an overview of Lovehoney, the types of products the company creates, where it's based, its focus, things of that nature?
Yeah. So Lovehoney Group was formed in 2021, so summer 2021, through a merger of Lovehoney, Amorana, and WowTech. And we are now the world's leading sexual wellness company. And we share, on the one hand, we share the same mission, meaning destigmatizing the topic of sexuality and enhancing people's sex life. But also, on the other hand, we have a lot of kind of synergies, or we're coming from different fields of operations. So we have now the leading e-commerce platform with Lovehoney and Amorana in Switzerland, and WowTech, who is providing innovative premium brands. And we're kind of merging this B2C and B2B business to build this global player. We are now 780 employees, and we have offices in 10 cities around the world. And for last year, 2021, an estimated revenue of $400 million, and our company valuation is $1.2 billion.
Curious if you have any thoughts on sort of the broader shift in the consumer landscape and how people are thinking about sexual wellness as part of their overall health today.
Yeah, your feeling is completely right. So historically, the topic of women's health and wellness was neglected, especially when you look into medicine and research. That means that studies and new treatments were mostly tested from men on men. And nowadays, most of people are aware that women react differently to different treatments, or they have different symptoms than men. So, but there's still the so-called gender health gap, which comes from this history of women are not really included in research, or are not the objects research is done on. And kind of part of the gender health gap from our point of view is also sexuality. I think female sexuality was rather oppressed in history and in the past. And therefore there's kind of I would say a long way to go. I mean, we moved on and there are certain developments, but it's true. I just have here a few numbers. So for example, when it comes to research, there's 5 times more research on erectile dysfunction, which affects 90% of men, compared to PMS, which affects 90% of women. That already, I would say, says a lot where the focus was put in the past. So yeah, and with that, female pleasure, wellness, health has been more neglected compared to kind of the male topics. So yeah, that's kind of, but there, as you said, there is movement towards a more kind of equal future in that part.
Great, it's about time.
Yeah.
and I would imagine just looking at the broader industry, there's probably still a lot of challenges, sexual wellness as a category faces. I'm curious if you can provide any insights on, some of those challenges that sexual wellness in particular is facing versus maybe other areas of health and wellness.
Yeah. So I think there are a lot of challenges when it comes to marketing or selling products. I mean, typically TV ads, out-of-home billboards. There are a lot of restrictions, and often we are not really allowed to, even if we are allowed to do it, we are, for example, not allowed to show products and so on. So this is more the advertisement part. Also, when it comes to social media advertising, that's completely forbidden. So no Instagram ads, no Facebook ads, and they often even ban or delete our posts, or in the past even deleted or blocked the whole profile because it's kind of inappropriate content, while you can find 1 million posts with the hashtag gun or 400,000 posts with the hashtag White Lives Matter. So you really see that, I would say, sexuality is really especially in the US, because all of these big companies that we are struggling with are from US, these corporates, and had a lot of conversations. And I think that's really the topic of sexuality is still seen as a sin and guilt. And that really gives us a lot of problems when it comes to advertising. I mean, only social media advertising, I think, is nowadays for many companies a really important marketing channel, but we are just not allowed to do it. And some recent development, which is also really challenging, is Google search engine advertisement. So they implemented or they updated a feature called Safe Search, which is meant to protect under 18-year-old teenager children, which we in general kind of think it's a good thing to do, but it somehow affects us. So our ads are not anymore displayed, but the ones from conventional retail having our products are still shown.
Can you share a little bit about your thoughts just on the broader, wellness landscape for women and what, challenges you see as specifically acute right now and where you see the state of women's wellness today?
I think one of the reasons is kind of the female empowerment movement that I believe is very beneficial for our industry, but also for the female wellness category. I think really kind of acknowledging the own needs, taking them serious, taking time for yourself. I think that's really something that comes with the female empowerment movement. And that kind of, therefore you see a shift. And I think also overall the focus on well-being, wellness, mental health, I think that also all of that helps, and that's how we benefit. And then from our point of view, and I think not all companies can agree to that, but COVID, which is now existing, I think it's now even 2 years, right? Almost 2 years. That was honestly also really beneficial for our industry, just because people, and I think many also wellness companies, furniture companies, people stayed at home, they had time, they were probably bored after the third lockdown. So they really started to think about what to do at home, how to improve their personal life at home. And that, I mean, from our point of view, we were one of the winners, right? Our sales kind of skyrocketed during the COVID in the beginning or in the first year, just because people had time also to, I think that's also one of the things I hear quite often is that people say they don't have the time for sexuality. And I think from a business side, also when looking at our industry, I think also the investors are way more open for that topic. And this has also really changed. So back then, that's 4.5, 5 years ago, when Johannes, our CEO, bought Womanizer, he could only find one bank that was willing to do the deal with him. And now with the Lovehoney merger, there were kind of 7 banks involved and even more were interested. And this happened, let's say, within 5 years, which is quite, I would say, a quick development somehow. So you really even see that the market and investors are more open-minded. And I think that's needed, right? I mean, there are a lot of nice ideas out there, but you need someone who funds them. So there is kind of development.